Welcome to Alex Totten to the Kilmarnock Supporters Association website. It's a great privilege to give you a wee interview, Alex, about your time in football, which now amalgamates to over 50 years.
As long as that.
As long as that. So, way back in 1960-61 you signed for Liverpool, Alex, as a 15-year-old. It must have been very daunting to go away down to a strange place after being brought up in Denny. How did you cope with that?
How it came about really was I played with Scottish schoolboys, and of course a very exciting time. There were lots of scouts come to the house. I'm down to Man United with my parents, first time in an aeroplane, and met Jimmy Murphy, the assistant, showed us around Old Trafford, and met Bobby Charlton, and went to Middlesbrough, Birmingham, Arsenal. But I signed with Liverpool purely something because of one man. That man was called Bill Shankly. We're actually in the second division. Ian St John signed in the June, I signed in July as a 15-year-old, and Ronnie Yates signed in August. But I signed purely because of Bill Shankly, he impressed me so much, and of course a very, very successful manager.
Right. Your playing career spanned over 18 years, from Liverpool finish up at Alloa Athletic. Do you feel you fulfilled your potential? Because looking at your statistics, you didn't play that many games over the 18 years, 174 games.
That's
maybe not a lot in today's.
100% correct. I mean, I feel I was a better manager than I was a player, if you want the honest truth. But again, I played till I was 15 to about 33, 34, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, different clubs. And the most enjoyable club as a player, without a doubt, was Dunfermline, because we were always in Europe. We won the Scottish Cup in '68 and went to America to try and promote football from New York to Los Angeles, Vancouver, Toronto, and Canada. And we toured with Man City. They'd won the league. Boys like Joe Mercer was manager, and Franny Lee was there, Mike Summerby. So that was a good education as well. So you learn from each individual manager. So my playing career, it was sort of full-time, part-time all the time. When I was part-time, I was near a sales manager with Goodyear, and I came in first regard sales in Great Britain. I won a Caribbean cruise with my wife, So, but I think eventually I was a better manager than I was a player.
Right. So how did you break into management? Was it just an opening that appeared and you took it, or?
Alloa gave me the chance to become manager, and they were actually the worst team in Scotland. There were 38 clubs in Scotland then, and we got promotion in the second season, which was great. Then Falkirk come, and Falkirk were bottom in the first division. I went to Falkirk in November '82, they were bottom in the league, and I signed boys like Peter Houston, who's now the manager, boys like Kevin McAllister, and I left in November '83, exactly 1 year, and we're sitting second top. And the reason I left was because I went to Rangers. Jock Wallace phoned me and said, "How'd you like to come to Rangers, son, as my assistant?" And so obviously that was tremendous from my point of view. My dad was a great Rangers man, and we went there and went 26 league games, one defeat. We won the League Cup. Alan McCoy's got a hat-trick hand in. And again went on a world tour away to Australia, New Zealand, America and Canada. And one of the players I recommended and was signed by Rangers was Bobby Williamson, who took over from me for Kilmarnock. So, but again, you learn from each individual manager. But Big Jock was tremendous. I got on really well with him, and he was really tutoring me for a job, because when I was at Liverpool, it was Shankly was there, like say Bob Paisley, Joe Fagan, then Ken Dalglish. We get continuity. And Jock says, when I step up as general manager, you'll take over as team manager. But of course, it didn't quite work out, because obviously Graham Souness come and we all got the sack.
Right. So, as a manager, would you say Big Jock was the big influence on your management, or what manager would you say had the most influence on you becoming a manager?
Bill Shankly was tremendous. I mean, we used to strip at Anfield and go to Melwood the training, and we could sit beside anyone. So whether we were a ground staff player or a first team player, everybody was treated the same. His man management skills was tremendous, and the same with Big Jock. I learned a great deal from Big Jock as well. But each manager you learn from, So I took that in my own management, although I was my own man. But I have no complaints. Obviously, I've enjoyed my time in management and been a lot of big clubs, good clubs. So it's been superb.
One of them being Kilmarnock, obviously. You joined Kilmarnock in '94 and obviously left in '96. Can you tell us a wee bit about your time at Kilmarnock and how you came about to get the job, and how you enjoyed or didn't enjoy your time at Rugby Park?
Well, how it came about really was I left St Johnson and I was up in the BBC doing the commentary, which I thoroughly enjoyed, going to different games. I went to the Scottish Cup final in Dundee United, Motherwell. Then I got a phone call from Alex Cameron, and Alex says, I've been asked to ask you if you'd be interested in the Kilmarnock job, because I was manager of East Fife at the time. And I said, of course, because it brings me back to the SPL. and he says, well, if you're interested, if you go into John Payton's house in Newton Mearns, all the directors were there, and through to Newton Mearns, and so I accepted the job. And Tommy Burns, I took over for Tommy, who I have a tremendous respect for without a doubt, and he'd organise games in Ireland. So I got the job on the Monday, but the boys flew to Dublin on the Monday, and so I went across on the Tuesday, met all the players, took them for a meal at night. And there must have been about 1,000 Kelly fans at the Sligo game, and Bobby Williamson, George McCluskey kicked off, and the boys shouted, "Alec, the honeymoon's over," which I thought was tremendous. I looked and he laughed and I laughed, and so that's how it came about really. And but I must admit, Kilmarnock is a big club, and I thoroughly enjoyed it there. And when I was there, they built the 3 new stands, and I phoned Ken Dalglish, who was manager of Blackburn, and he came up and he opened it officially. Alan Shearer just had won the league, Blackburn, and of course the 2 teams lined up. My big friend Gordon Sherry, I said, Gordon, you go in the field, because obviously played the British Open, the Masters, and Gordon got a trip. In fact, Big Gordon says it's the biggest thrill of his life, never mind the Masters or the British Open, but to walk out there in front of his mum and dad, all his relations and the colleagues and everything, they got a tremendous ovation, so that was great. So but some great clubs, with great games with Kilmarnock, absolutely tremendous. And one of the special games I think was against Hibs. It was a Friday night. I think it was about £10 for fans to pay to get in. There were about 14,000 there. I think it was 14,000, and we beat them 4-2. I'll never forget, Mr. Moffat came down, the vice chairman, and said, "Alec, since I joined the club, that's the best performance without a doubt." Paul had about a 25-yarder right past Jim Leighton that night. It was pouring the rain, but it was a wonderful performance, and it was a wonderful score without a doubt.
Obviously it came to an end shortly after that game, believe it or not, in the December I think, we parted ways. Did it leave a bittersweet taste in the mouth, especially the way the season planned out with the Scottish Cup final in '97?
Yeah. I can just go back a wee bit. I remember I was in Port Plains with my wife and having breakfast, and this man went by and he says, "You're Alex Totten." I said, "Aye, so I'm best friends with your chairman, Mr. Moffat, vice chairman." I said, "Oh, that's great." So what would come into my boat and all the rest of it, I had a pair of Kelly shorts, so I gave it to him. So I took a photograph. There he's in the shorts, the Kilmarnock shorts. So the first board meeting, I went and I said to the directors, "I've signed a player." "What do you mean you've signed a player? You've really got to come to us before you sign a player." And I showed them a photograph. It was the chairman's best pal, so we got a great laugh about that really. But well, I think it's part and parcel of football. Sometimes you get the sack, sometimes you feel. St Johnstone, for example, I felt I shouldn't have got the sack. I felt I did a really good job there. Went for the second division of Premier within 3 seasons and 3 semi-finals of cups, but the chairman wanted a change. At Rangers, Graham Souness come. I didn't know Graham Souness, but obviously he wanted a change. I didn't know him, so I left. But Kilmarnock, I was disappointed because obviously I changed it because it was kind of Dad's army when I went in there. George McCluskey, older players and that, and I felt we were doing well. But obviously 3 new directors came in, Mr. Costley and Clark and like say Wiper. So I'm led to believe, I heard later on the vote was 3-2 against me. So obviously I had to make way, so I was very disappointed, but I say that's football. It's I had a great time at Kilmarnock, big club. I took off with Tommy Burns, I say, and they were really good to me. The fans were great to me, great rapport with the Kilmarnock standard, the relationship with them, so it was really good. And I always thought Kilmarnock was a big club, but the time I was there, I must admit I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So after you left Kilmarnock, fate would have it you got the Falkirk job again.
Yeah.
Culminating in, as I said, in that great day at Ibrox, where unfortunately for you, but
you were lucky
good
that
for
day.
us, we won the Scottish Cup. Can you tell us your memories for the final of '97?
Well, even the semi-final, because I remember it was Heather or Weather that drew the semi-final draw, and it was Falkirk versus Celtic, then Dundee United versus Kilmarnock. Dundee United and Celtic were the favourites, and we beat Celtic over 2 games in Glasgow, which was absolutely fantastic. But they get again my old club Kilmarnock, and it's quite funny when you walk out in a cup final. I wore a kilt, the first man ever to wear a kilt in a cup final, and I was quite proud to wear the Falkirk tartan. But walking out, I'd signed 7 of the Kilmarnock players. The other 4 players were there when I went in there, so Bobby hadn't signed a player. When you walk out in a cup final, it's you and the enemy, but all the boys going, "Aye Alec, aye Alec." It was quite strange really, and but it was a wonderful cup final. But unfortunate for us, from our point of view, alright for you, Ian, but from our point of view, we got beat 1-0, and I still feel to this day that we scored a good goal, 10 minutes to go, and again, the momentum was with Falkirk, because Bobby took, like say, Jim McIntyre off and Paul Wright, and ironically, Paul Wright scored the only goal, who I signed Paul for the St Johnstone and Kilmarnock, was a great player for me, Paul Wright, and after the final whistle, he came right across to our dugout, not Bobby's dugout, and gave us a cuddle, you know, and put his arm around about us, you know. And I remember somebody says the next season Kilmarnock played Celtic, and the club magazine, Paul Wright goes, everybody knows it was Alex Totten's team, which it probably was, as players I signed, but that's football. It was a great occasion, and I forget, like say, I think it was the Daily Record on the Monday, with big headlines, black headlines, one winner, no loser. You know, it was a family cup final, because even with Kilmarnock winning the cup, the Falkirk boys stayed, all the Falkirk fans stayed, and they walked round the stadium with every single, like say, fan staying there. So it was a great occasion without a doubt. But I won the cup with Dunfermline, the cup in front of the bus going back to Dunfermline, but going back to Falkirk that night with no cup, which is disappointing. Again, thousands turned out to really support us and back us, you know. And but Kilmarnock, obviously, going back to John Finney Street in Kilmarnock, they had a wonderful time. So it was disappointing, but proud at the same time that I took Falkirk to a cup final, the first time for 40 years actually, because the cup final before was Kilmarnock in 1957 and Falkirk, and of course Falkirk beat them. I was a wee boy, but I went to the games and I thought, like, so okay, we're going to be the same again, Falkirk's going to beat Kilmarnock, but it didn't materialise. But it was a wonderful day, there's no question about that. And so we didn't win the cup, but well done to Kilmarnock.
We all had a good time anyway.
I bet you did, Ian.
And finally, Alex, you're still involved with Falkirk Football Club. What would they do without you? Because you just telling me there, you've had another dinner, you've raised £25,000 for Falkirk Football Club at one sportsman's dinner. You must still get a great buzz from being involved in football.
Without a doubt, I've been in football all my life, but I finished with Falkirk in 2002. My last game was against Everton. Davy Moyes brought Everton up, it was our anniversary, and asked me to stay on and do all the commercials. So Falkirk, it's my club without a doubt, you know, and they gave us a Lifetime Achievement Award, the only guy in history to get that with Falkirk Football Club, and I'm very proud of that. They gave us a testimonial, a golf day, a big dinner, and the Cameron spoke, and a game against Rangers, so great. But I get money for the club from the commercial side, and advertising boards, hospitality, and you say dinners and golf days, everything. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I go to all the games, go to boardroom director's box. So I'm still involved with football, and I must admit I still enjoy it very much.
You still get the buzz.
I still get the buzz, without a doubt.
Alex, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you.